Chances are, if you think of Diablo 2, you probably think of the Necromancer, since everybody really loved that class. What's up, guys? I'm Dimebot, and this is the Necromancer beta for Diablo 3. Now, let's hop on in, and let's do a couple disclaimers first. I am not going to theorycraft this character. There are people out there that are way better than me at that, and you guys would rip me apart in the comments if I did. Anyways, second, I do not claim to be an expert at this game. I do not claim to be the best at building characters in this game. The point of this video is going to be to show you guys the basic skills and attributes of the Necromancer. Also, it is PTR, things are broken, like the bone golem picture up here. So, let's head on over to... I guess we'll do Act 3, or let's do Act 4. Why the hell not? We'll hop over to the gardens here, and we'll talk about the skills for the Necro. So there is bone spikes, and I have gotten up to about level 38 here, so I figured this would be a good midway point to kind of show you guys what you could expect from the Necro. So we're going to go with bone spikes, and they're pretty much what they sound like. They summon spikes from the ground. You have a couple of runes here. I am a big fan of sudden impact because it stuns, although it seems to be broken and stuns all the time, and frost. We'll do the frost spikes. Bone spear. You also have skeleton mage and death nova. We'll get to those in a little while. You have blighted marrow, where it does more damage for each enemy it passes through. Teeth, which kind of changes it. I'll show you guys that real quick, actually. So that's teeth. And the normal one, I'll put crystallization as my favorite. It reduces enemy attack speed and increases your attack speed for each enemy hit, but it's the normal bone spear. Corpse explosion also has corpse lamps, devour, and revive. I will talk about each of these in the corpse tree because they're very different. Then you have golems, army of the dead, and skeletons. So we're going to go with skeletons right now, and I like frenzy. Enforcer reduces the cost of commanding them. Frenzy makes them go to a place, and dark mending, they will heal you. Curses, you have a couple. I'm just going to show you what these guys, or talk about what these do, and leave my favorite one on. There's Dizzying Curse, which will stun them. Enfeeblement, which reduces their movement speed. And there is Decrepify. You gain a movement speed increase for every enemy curse. This is for Decrepify, which slows everybody. Leech, this is the life-stealing one. So cursed enemies have a chance to heal the attacker when they're struck. It can jump to other targets, it can be buffed by osmosis and increase, and it can also decrease the cooldown of your potion. And Frailty, this one is another good one. It will kill enemies below a certain life total. I like Leech, and I like Osmosis. And finally, this one. Bone Armor, Bone Spirit, and Blood Rush. Bone Armor is armor. You rip it out of enemies. It's kind of disturbing. Bone Spirit is one I don't really like that much, but I will show you guys. And then there's Blood Rush, which is a way to get around. I'm going to leave Dislocation on so it stuns people. And we'll talk about the passives in a minute. There's my skeletons. So, there are multiple ways to play the Necromancer. There is what I like, which is the Corpse Explosion way of playing, which just does massive damage. There you go. Now keep in mind this is PTR, the experience is buffed to an insane level, but you'll see that Corpse Explosion just does huge damage. Now, I have my Corpse Explosion modified to explode corpses near me. You can have it as a targeter that you can put out in front of you if you don't do that. There are a couple things that can change that as well. Shrapnel makes it explode in the cone. Let's talk about Corpse Lance real quick, and Grim Scythe. It didn't actually change because we're in combat. Grim Scythe, and we will go with Curse Scythe. Bone Spear, change it to Skeleton Mage. Just going to jump to the next level of everything here. Golem, we'll leave that, and Bone Spirit. And I will talk about why I don't like Bone Spirit. Panic Attack is cool though, it makes them run in fear. So, the reason I don't particularly like Bone Spirit is because it basically uses all your mana. So you see the scythe there. Now, what Corpse Lance does, actually, is that it will launch little projectiles out of any corpses that are nearby when I'm fighting. You can see them there. There's a couple different things you can do to them. You can make them slow, you can make them crit, or you can make them ricochet. Now, I didn't actually really use my right click there, so there we go. Summons a skeleton. So you can run a pet class with the Necromancer. It's not as efficient as the Witch Doctor, but you can still run a kind of pet class now. You can change the mage around a little bit. So Singularity is one that will use all of your essence to summon a really strong one. Skeleton Archer summons an archer, and Contamination just raises a contaminated mage. You can also make them leave behind corpses. Here is actually one I like. Death Nova. And I'm going to jump to Siphon Blood because this has one of the most overpowered things in the game right now and it needs to be nerfed. If you couple it with Power Shift, your damage increases the longer you siphon the target. And this actually generates 15 essence, which is your resource down here, every time they're damaged. It's disgusting. Ice Golem, they can freeze. Bone Golem, actually I will show you because it's fucking amazing. And we'll show you Devour. So that does the Blight Explosion, that's Death Nova. Really? Is there somebody down here? No? Okay. So let's just kill Rakanoth real quick. This shouldn't take too long. I like the class so far. They are extremely powerful. There's some things that need nerfing, and there's some bugs, obviously. Let's identify that legendary real quick. Can't not identify a legendary. Yes. We'll jump back up. Alright. So, one of the cool things with this golem, I'll show you real quick. His active is he will become a tornado of bone and carry all nearby enemies to a specific spot. This goes fantastically with Death Nova or Bone Spear or Corpse Explosion. It's disgusting. And finally, we need to talk about Devour. So, consume nearby corpses to restore essence. That's pretty standard. It's basically just a way to keep your resource topped off. So, there you go. Consuming the corpses, generating essence. Very easy. What is really useful out of this tree, though, is Revive. This is where you run a full pet class, and we'll go ahead and put that together real quick for you guys. So, let's do our skeletons with Freezing Grasp. And let's go with Blood Rush. This is where you pretty much get your full-on army. So, like I said, it is possible to run a pet class. We've got 7 of them. We have our mage, or I could summon an archer. Now, there are ways to increase the time limit of the mage, but that right-click ability minion is going to go away after a minute. So, I'm not a real big fan of this one, but you can summon more than one of them. So you all are able to have a fair amount of minions out on the board. And it just is going to depend on how you like to split them up as to whether you use the archer or what, but There is Blood Rush. It has a pretty short cooldown. But what I tend to like the most is the bone version, so I will switch to some Siphon Blood a lot though. So we'll do Frost Spikes, Bone Spear with Crystallization. I have not shown you guys these two skills, so we'll do that. So let's just cast the base version real quick. There's what that looks like. Corpse Explosion, I like the close quarters. Leech, and I normally use Bone Armor, but we will do Bone Spirit just to show you the damage. It has massive damage output right now, but I feel like it doesn't do as much later on.
Away with you.
Here we go. Now there's a few things that you will notice if you play with a Necromancer, if you're playing on the beta server and you're wondering why you don't see certain things, is because effects, the full effects for the Necromancer only show up for the Necro, so you're not going to see the corpses like I'm seeing, you're not going to get all the full ragdolling and stuff. You can see just how much damage this does, though. The damage that this class puts out is disgusting, and you'll see right there, that skull basically two-shotted that thing.
My bag is full.
My bag is full, of course it is.
I need to go back.
Let's head back to town and sell some stuff, and we can change our cooldowns, or our abilities around thanks to the cooldowns. So, Army of the Dead. You can do Death Valley. They now knock them all towards the center. There's Blighted Grasp, which does that, and is really quite creepy. And it cares for Frailty. Aura of Frailty becomes an aura that curses all nearby enemies. I actually am gonna use that. Ooh. That's gonna be fun. Let's sell some stuff and then talk about the passives.
We can't all be warriors. Someone needs to sell the equipment.
Lot of trash loot. A lot of trash. Nope. I might keep that. I will keep that, and I will definitely keep that. And now I'm all mixed-matched on my colors. Great. Anyways, let us talk about the passives here. So, the ones that I have unlocked so far are Fueled by Death, Life from Death Standalone. These are armor. This is consuming a corpse will spawn a health globe. Bone Prison is actually fairly useful early on. It will trap enemies in a bone prison for 3 seconds occasionally. Commander of the Dead, I use this one because of my skeletons. Swift Harvesting, I don't really use because I don't use Bone Spikes. I will use it with Siphon Blood. Extended Servitude, this is what I was talking about by increasing the duration of your revive and melee mage minions. Rigor Mortis, Blade ability buff. Exploit Weakness, 1% bonus damage for each enemy inflicted by one of your curses. That is getting used right now. Alright. Land of the Dead. This is the last one, and I'm just going to talk about this one because it lets you use all these skills at will for the duration regardless of cooldown. It's a really cool skill. However, I'm going to put my build back together. And we're going to jump into a Nephilim Rift while I give some final thoughts on the Necromancer and wrap it up. So, overall, I'm glad the Necro is back. I really like the class. It's a hell of a lot of fun to play. It was one of my favorite classes in Diablo 2. I absolutely adore the Bone Necromancer with Corpse Explosion. It is amazing. It's bloody, it's brutal, it's just disgusting, and I can't wait to get it to high level. Because there's just some stuff in there that's insane. But, as you can see, you can just mow through hordes of enemies with this thing. Now, there are a few things that you need to watch out for. You need to make sure you have a build that can generate your corpses for you. In multiplayer, you know, I would be relying on my friends to generate the first kill so that I could use the corpses, because it just saves me some trouble. I want to use bone armor here, thanks. But one thing I really want is Final Embrace. Corpses pull themselves towards the nearest enemy before exploding. That it's going to cost health per corpse, but damn. There's also a freeze, so there's some really nasty abilities hidden, or not hidden, out at the end. It remains to be seen how well the sets are going to do, because I've been seeing a lot of complaining about the Necromancer sets in the game chat. People don't seem to be very happy, but Blizzard can always add that and tweak it. Stability-wise, I've had the explosions and effects from this game, or from this class, crash my client multiple times. Now, I understand it's PTR, but it's a little unstable, and I do wish they would fix that. It's aggravating.
That needs to recharge.
How the hell did we end up back outside? Anyways. But overall, it's a ton of fun, and I cannot wait to play through the main campaign. Right now, we can't. We can only play through Adventure, which is fine, you know. But I would like to be able to play through the actual campaign and just experience the Necromancer story. I like the voice acting. I like the armor for the class. It's all top-notch and well done, as you would expect. Shall we go with Siphon Blood and Power Shift for the last little bit of the video? It was like a great idea to me. But honestly, I almost don't even need that mage following me around. I love that effect and the noise. It's just so freaking brutal. Be curious to see what you guys builds for the Necromancer are. Let me know in the comments below, but I am just going to continue to kill things and kill things and kill things with this class, because goddamn, it is a lot of fun. I'll just leave you guys with a little bit of death and destruction, but before I go, be sure to hit like and subscribe and press that Patreon button. It really helps out. Alright guys, my name is Ninebot. We'll see you next time.